Most business owners have goals to get their net worth into the multiple millions, but they don't achieve it. And it turns out that there's a very simple change that you can make as a business owner to achieve your goal. Say, for example, you wanted to get to 3 million or 5 million, that kind of thing in retirement. This is the first video in the Build Your Wealth series. I'm your host, Greg Casser. Let's get stuck into it. Just quick disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, just an entrepreneur and investor who's done really well and helping others along the way. Most people's plan is to have a heap of fun when they're young, then work really, really hard, and then at the end, before they die, do some real living, get out, travel, and hopefully have the health, the time, and the money, to be able to do that. And they want to play it safe along the way, but I think as you're going to see through this, playing it safe isn't really going to get you the best results. I think you'd agree that the world's pretty crazy right now with AI well and truly here, taking jobs, changing the world. Robotics is really going to become mainstream in 2026. So my view on this is, hey, we should, as entrepreneurs, we should try and get as wealthy as possible, as quickly as possible, because the world is going to be very, very different in the coming years. And so if you can get in a strong position and observe that from the sidelines rather than being involved, that's a great way to be. I love this from Sesame Street, this guy, the Count. Everyone has a number. And so if you think about this for yourself, it might be in your 401k, your superannuation, your personal savings, that kind of thing. What is your number that you're trying to get to? Is it 10 million, 5 million, 3 million, 2 million, that kind of thing? Like, when do you feel that you've got enough that you could then take your foot off the pedal if you want to and slow down and choose life more rather than always having to be able to hustle? This is like, what's your number where you really set up for life? Okay, so hopefully you got that number in your head. Let's now look at some simple Blackboard math. So what's your number? Okay, I want 3 million in retirement. What's your net worth? Okay, I've currently got 500k across my superannuation, or which is 401k in the States, and maybe some personal savings, investments, that kind of thing. Okay, and how many years until I want to slow down? So I may want to retire around 65. It doesn't mean you have to stop working. You could just do part-time, whatever, but like take your foot off the pedal a bit. And if I'm 50 now, that gives me 15 years. Okay, so am I on track with that? If you take 2.5 million, which is the gap, and then there's 15 years, that's $166,000 a year that I need to be putting aside right now in order to meet my 3 million goal. So hopefully that shows you most people are not really going to achieve their goal, and you can see that there's a problem here. Robert Kiyosaki says that we can get rich a whole bunch of different ways. We can be an employee, we can be self-employed, we can be a business owner, we can be an investor. And if you look at every billionaire in the world, nearly all of them are business owners who are also investors. That is the most successful formula. So why most people are going to miss their number is because they identify as, hey, I'm a business owner, not I'm a business owner and an investor. So that change of identity is really the first step here that we need to do. After working with over 300 businesses, a common problem that I've seen is everyone always reinvesting the money back into the business, reinvesting the money back, which there's seasons for business, so that does make sense at times, but you can't do that forever, because at some stage you need to take the money out of the business into either your personal, your 401k, your superannuation, that kind of thing, and get your money working for you. So always reinvesting the money back into the business can actually be keeping you broke. So a better approach for reaching your financial goals is to take the money that's in the business and get it out of the business so you can actually use it. So putting it in your personal money, or if you've got a 401k or superannuation, putting it in there, or a combination of the two. Basically, the way it works in life, I've found, is he or she who has the more leverage wins. So ultimately, we need to get our money working for us, not just us working for money. Let's now look at our Blackboard math if we do B plus I, business plus investing. So if we've still got that same thing, hey, we're trying to get to 3 mil, we've got 500k, we've got a 2.5 mil gap, and we've still got 15 years, but we can try and put aside 166,000 a year, or if we took our 500,000 and then we got it compounding at just 12.7% a year, we could achieve the same result. So let's look at that. This is probably a little bit small, a bit hard to see, but basically if you look years, we've got 15 years there. We're starting with 500,000, and then you can see as it's growing at 12% a year, compounding, It's really like builds up like an exponential curve. That number, the 500,000 went to 635, 715. It's getting bigger so that the end balance ultimately ends up at 3 million over those 15 years. So that's kind of what it looks like as an exponential curve. So you can see by getting the money working for us, it's a much easier to achieve than if we're just working for the money. It gets even easier if we add to it each year. Remember before it was like we had to get it growing at 12.7% a year, which is actually very easy to do. And if you stick with me, I'll show you how we can do those things. But if we now added 25 grand a year to it, remember before we had to add like something like 166,000 to it, which really didn't feel achievable for most people. But 25,000, maybe that is achievable for most people. So say for example, if you kept feeding it 25,000 a year for 15 years, then you would only need to get it compounding at 10.33%, which is more achievable again. And if you look at mine at the moment, it's compounding at over 30%. Sometimes it's 40 and even closer to 50. So this is very achievable. Like we're saying, yours only needs to compound at a third of what mine is doing, right now. So hopefully you can see that by doing a combination of business plus investing, we can reach our number very quickly. So ultimately, we need to learn the money games of the rich and to reach our number goals. Everyone gets into business and they're interested in, hey, what's the next tactic? How can I get more traffic? How can I get more conversions? But it really comes down to we're actually in business to build wealth. So yes, we do need the tactics because they're going to help us to grow. But what is the strategies that we need to do for building wealth? So strategies, not tactics. I hope you got a good aha out of that. I shared this on stage recently and people said it's kind of life-changing to know if they didn't make this one change, they're actually not going to achieve what they set out to in their retirement. Please hit like and subscribe so that you start to get more in this Build Your Wealth series. I've also got a heap of free training on the businessinvestfreedom.com website, so head over there, that's all free. And if you want a hand to get the results faster, check out collective.com.au. That's where I work with high-level entrepreneurs and investors. Have a great day.